Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I hope you're off to a great start this week. I know we're just early on in the day, but hopefully you're up in your daily rituals and rocking and rolling for the week already. I want to have a conversation with you today. I want to have a conversation with you about next year and about what your goals and objectives are. And I know we've been talking a lot about, these steps you can use to plan and create your best life. But what I want to do is I want to talk to you about maybe taking a different perspective on it. So, just kind of bear with me here, and the next couple of days we'll go through a few things that I think will help you quite a bit. And I'm excited this week because we're going to be recording our 500th episode. And a 500th episode, that really makes me realize just how much time and energy we've put into this podcast. And I know we've been able to help a lot of people and give a lot of inspiration, motivation out there. So I hope it's done something for you as well. But let's talk a little bit about your year-end planning. Have you gotten your year-end planning done yet? How much have you done? How much time have you spent? Have you just thrown some ideas out there? Have you really gotten specific about what you want to create in your life next year? Are you just setting goals, or are you actually creating a blueprint for your life? And if you haven't done it yet, why not? What is it? What have you been busy? Have you been wrapped up in holidays? I mean, look, it's good to be part of the holidays and being in the moment, but I think it's super important that you take time and plan your next year out, because you want to make sure this is the time that you want to really create a roadmap for you to follow, so that you're not just every day trying to figure out what you're doing. So I really want you to plan it out. And if you have planned it out, have you written it out? Have you been very specific? So whether you have or whether you haven't, I'd like to give you a couple of suggestions today. I want to give you a couple of suggestions that I feel might help guide you in what you're doing with your year-end planning. And it's going to stem around a certain question. And I ask this question a lot, and I know a lot of people have heard it, but I don't think they've necessarily dug deep when it comes to this idea. And the idea is this: most people are planning what goals they want to accomplish next year. They're planning what they want to do, what they want to be, and they haven't really stopped to think about what they want their life to be like. And so I want you to ask yourself that question. I want you to ask the question, what do I want my life to be like this next year and at the end of 2022? In other words, what would be a win for you? And what do you really want your life to be like? See, I think sometimes we visualize things based on our circumstances, based on the vehicle we're currently pursuing, based on things. And really what we want in life, and we've talked about this before, is that ultimately, no matter what it is you're looking for, it's to create certain emotions and feelings in your life, right? Whether you're trying to hit a goal for money or family or, whatever these benchmarks and milestones are in your life, if you really think about it, you're trying to create a certain emotion, a certain feeling, a certain sense of fulfillment, passion, purpose. And I think if you'll stop for a minute and really get a sense of what you want your life to be like, it'll give you a perspective that will help you to structure the game plan and the blueprint of where you want to go. See, we'll sometimes take the steps that we've covered over the last couple of weeks and we'll say, okay, I'm going to create a vision and get some clarity and some discipline and action around these things. But you always start from a place of where you're at. And when you're creating your life, you can't start from the place from where you're at. You have to disconnect from that, and you have to actually get creative and engage your imagination as to where you truly want your life to be. What do you want your life to be like? So it's really important that we're not, that even if you're asking the right questions, you're doing it with the right perspective. And so this is what I want to suggest for you to do. And it wouldn't take a lot of time, but I want you to start this week today. In fact, today would be the best time to do it. And I want you to go through a couple of steps in a process I want to give you that might help you to shift your perspective a little. And I believe what this will do is it'll help you to 10x whatever it is that you're thinking about right now. I think it'll help you to recondition and reformat your perspective. And I think it's something that will help you to really get more results next year in your life and over the next 2 to 5 years. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to stop and just find a quiet place. And when I say quiet, I mean not distractions, right? Find a place that's quiet, whether it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you can do. Find a quiet place. Then I want you to get grounded in the moment. I want you to stop, disconnect, turn your phone off, stop, give yourself a little freedom to not worry about what you're missing or what you should be doing, and just get connected with what you're trying to do. What you're going to do is you're going to really try to get connected with creating a visualization of where you want your life to be. So find a really quiet place, get grounded, and then I want you to really disconnect from your current set of goals, your current path, your current business, your current opportunity, your current relationships, everything. I just want you to disconnect from everything. And by doing that, I want you to sort of give yourself a clean slate, a fresh, clean slate to be able to work with in the image in your mind, right? And so get in a quiet place, get grounded, and disconnect from all the pieces. Don't start from where you're at, just disconnect. And then I want you to visualize what it is you want your life to be like. What would your day look like? What would your routine look like? How would you feel? What would you be doing? What type of stuff? What type of lifestyle? What type of freedom? What type of money? What type of feelings are you going to have on a day-to-day basis? Imagine yourself being excited about getting up in the morning. Imagine yourself in great shape physically. Imagine yourself having good, strong relationships. Imagine what it is that you would prioritize in your day if you could do anything you wanted, however you wanted. I want you to visualize that, and it's really important that you get very specific. In other words, you don't want to just say, all right, I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to wake up when I want. I'm going to be in shape. What kind of shape would you be in? What would your weight? What would your physique look like? What would when would you wake up? Who would be there? What would you be doing that day? What type of activities would create happiness and fulfillment for you? And be very, very specific. And I want you to really just create a visual representation of what it is that you would like your life to be like. And I want you to write it down. Start to write it down. Look, it may be difficult for a lot of people to really get outside their current situation. And maybe you've set some of your dreams aside. Maybe you've set some of your goals aside. Maybe you've got all these limitations and these limiting beliefs that are keeping you from stretching. But I really want you to stretch because, look, the worst case scenario is you get some peace and relaxation and you really get a chance to outline some things. And even whether or not you believe they're possible, it's going to be an exercise that I promise you will help you. And I want you to take some time, and I want you to do that today, because what we'll do tomorrow is we'll talk a little bit more about how you can apply that to the path and the steps and the processes that we've talked about. But it's so important. This is beyond just dream building. We're talking about you really getting disconnected from all the pieces that you currently have and visualizing what you want your life to be like. What do you want? If you were to create the ideal life, what would that look like? And I want you to do that today because we're going to be talking this week, and I've got some really good things that I'm going to kind of throw out to everybody this week. In the spirit of giving and gratitude, we've got some great programs that we're going to give out. But I want you to do this exercise for you. This isn't for me. This is for you. This is because you need to be able to stretch yourself and get vividly clear on what it is that you're really trying to do in your life, because it is never too late to start living the life you were meant to live. But you've got to take a step and stop putting it off. Stop. It just takes 5 minutes. Don't put it off any longer. Turn this podcast off. Take a minute, get grounded, get disconnected, and let's see if we can get a good picture of what you want your life to be like. That's the challenge I have for you today. I want you to hit me up on the Daily Mastermind on Instagram or on Facebook and tell me what it is that you're struggling with, what it is that you could use some help with, and give me some feedback on what you've done that you feel has been productive for you in planning out your next year. I can't wait to get some of your feedback. And that's been my message for today. I look forward to talking with you a little bit more tomorrow. Have a phenomenal day. We'll talk with you soon.